ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. Y'all better listen up. This sports talking tough. So if you got a cup, go on and raise it up. I'll raise one with you as we talk about the sports. It's raining stats and rumors. Let us give you the report. This is First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, First 12 Ounces. Hey, let's start off with the breaking news. DeBoer to Michigan.
Kailen DeBoer to Michigan. Just off thought, huh? Look, before we even get into this, I'll just knock this out real quick. It's hilarious, man. Look, the little 10 just keeps taking swings at DeBoer and missing. Penn State swing and a miss. Michigan swing and a miss. He don't want to leave. This whole narrative that he is unhappy is a false narrative. He is very happy. His family loves it, by the way. It's crazy to me how, everyone talks down on Kailen DeBoer until there's a job opening. And now it's, oh boy, it's got to be DeBoer. It's got to be DeBoer. He's the best ever. Look, I think he's a great coach. I think he's a top 5, top 7 coach for sure in college football right now. But these rumors are crazy. It's exhausting. I've got extreme Twitter fatigue from it. I'm glad that he finally said something because he wanted to wait till he had media. And he had media today at practice. So shut it down. DeBoer's not going anywhere. Eat shit, Michigan. Eat shit, Penn State. Woohoo! The little 10 strikes out again.
Where did it even start that he was unhappy though? Like that kind of came out of nowhere.
After they lost to OU was around the same time the Penn State rumors heated up. Okay, it started from literally one reporter at Penn State was like, "Hey, I'm hearing DeBoer's unhappy. If they lose the Iron Bowl, the door's wide open." Completely. It all started from just rumors from people who don't even know Kailen DeBoer. Everyone close to him was saying, no, he's not unhappy. Everyone in Bama was saying, no, he's not unhappy. He's saying, no, I'm not unhappy. Whatever, bro. I'm glad it's over with.
For now. Because if they lose, if they lose, the rumors are going to come back.
Oh, yeah. Well, then he'll be going to, like, Louisiana Tech or something. He'll be like, DeBoer to La Tech. Rough day.
Ultimately, your coach being a guy that everybody brings up in searches is a good thing. It means like your team's doing well. Like I think Texas is like obviously like Sark hasn't been brought up in college jobs, but like he's getting brought up in NFL jobs. DeBoer's getting brought up in these big jobs. Like nobody was bringing up Brian Kelly. You know what I mean? Like nobody was going like Brian Kelly might leave to go here. Like the only year that happened was after 22 when LSU played for the SEC title. And then it was LSU. It was Brian Kelly to Michigan. Like it just signifies your team's doing well. Like the only guys immune to it are who? Kirby Smart is the only guy immune to it, really.
And Ryan Day, probably.
Yeah, like they're the immune guys.
Which actually brings me to a whole nother point that I wasn't going to bring up, but it just the way the conversation just divulged, we have to. There's only 3 active coaches with national championships.
Yeah.
Ryan Day, Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney. Outside of those 3, nobody has one. So, like, we talk about, like, what's a good coach, who's a good coach, who's not a good coach. There's only 3 that have natties. So, using those as, like, a weighing factor is, like, we really can't do it outside of those 3, obviously. So, yeah. I think that's kind of, like, the reason none of those are brought up. I mean, Dabo's brought up a lot, but, like, Ryan Day and Kirby Smart aren't being brought up because I think they have those natties at the schools they're at. There's really no chance of them leaving.
But like, you bring up Dabo, like he gets brought up, but like, do any of us 3 believe Dabo's a really good coach? Or do we think he was a really good coach? Like, I don't think Dabo's the top 10 coach in the country as we sit today. Like, I don't think Clemson, like, they backdoored their way into a playoff, but like, they've been really bad since the NIL and all this rolled out. Like, they shouldn't have made the playoff last year. They got beat by two plus scores. I don't remember the exact score, but I know it was at least 2 touchdowns. They're not very good, and I don't think Dabo's a guy that's like the game seems like it's past him. Like do y'all think Clemson's going to be a contender next year? I mean, I don't.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, there's no reason to say they can't bounce back from this year. So I mean, there's no reason to say that they can't.
when have they been good in the portal era? Like the ACC's so bad they backdoored their way into a playoff, but like they beat SMU in that title game, and they just weren't very good last year either.
I think the thing with the thing with Clemson is that Clemson had like a 5-year stretch when they were kind of going back and forth with Bama in the late 2010s, where like they were like really good, you know. And then as NIL and portal kind of became a bigger thing, when Dabo was so like anti all that, that's when they kind of had this drop off. I think they'll be back. Now will they be back next year? Maybe not. I don't know. But in my opinion, the ACC, there's no reason to think they won't at least be playing for some kind of a playoff berth. At some point late in the season. I do not think what you saw this year is going to be the new norm over there.
Yeah,
I think they'll be right 2 or 3.
I guess I can see with the ACC being so bad. Like, I think more what I was trying to point out was like, I would be really upset like if LSU would have hired Dabo Swinney. Like, I would have been like, ugh. And I think most people who are out of school would be like it just wouldn't be a hire you'd be thrilled about. Like, and it's just like a point of like where current college coaching is. Like,
Yeah.
The days of like, look at the guys with natties. Like, those days are kind of over with in a way. Like, outside of Kirby, like, because like I don't know about y'all, but like if Dabo Swinney became your coach next year, I don't think you'd be over the moon. Like, oh my god, I can't believe we got this guy. I think you'd be like, oh shit.
Well, no, and I think that's kind of also like a testament to like the fact that he hasn't been hired by somebody else, right? Like he's in Clemson. Like, granted, I think he likes Clemson. I think he's happy there. I don't know that they're thrilled with how the last year went with them, but I also don't think they're like shoving him out the door yet, right? I mean, you made, whether you got blasted in the playoffs last year or not, you still made the playoffs. You still played for a conference championship. No, I would not have been happy if Bama would have hired him. And there's a lot of buzz around that. You know, he loves Bama. He's a Bama guy. But I think you said you wouldn't put him in the top 10. I mean, he'd be around. I mean, he'd have to be around 10 for active coaches. I mean, the dude has. Yeah, I mean, he has national titles behind his name. You know, he played for a conference title last year and a playoff. He played in the playoffs last year. Like, I don't think you could just throw him out the top 10. Not off the top of my head at least. But I do agree. Out of the top 10 coaches, he's probably 9 or 10.
He reminds me a lot of like, I don't know, like the back end like of the Les Miles days. Like, I'm trying to think of a coach. Like, he's a guy that comes to mind that like won a title, played for another one. But then when it came off the cliff, like you could just look at it and go like, I don't think this is like, I think it's done. Like I don't think this has bounce back ability. Like it's not like a Mac Brown who, when he was at North Carolina, wasn't a top 10 coach, but had a ton of success previously. He was just older and like it was a sunset job basically at the end of it. But like some of these guys you can just watch when it goes off the cliff and you go like, I think Brian Kelly kind of falls into that currently. Like, I don't think anybody ever thinks Brian Kelly's ever going to get back to where his teams are, 10, 11 win teams, and he's considered a top 5 coach in the country. Like, to me, Dabo just is a guy that it's over the hill. Like, we've seen the best of it.
We say that, but all of us had Clemson in our top picks to start the year. This year,
and yet again,
major media outlets said the same thing. Clemson was supposed to be this great thing, and everyone missed on it. It's one of the first times you've seen that big of a miss in college football.
Yeah, two things.
Does that prove the point?
Well, two things. Number one, to Pete's point of that everyone had them in the top. I still, like I said, I don't see any reason why they can't bounce back next year and go 10-2 or 9-3 minimum. To be clear, they're gonna have talent. They're gonna be decently coached. They're gonna play a weak conference. Period. But number two, to Buddha's point about kind of comparing him to Brian Kelly. And I know that wasn't the intention, but kind of like that's kind of the way it divulged. The difference in the two is that Dabo has titles. Whereas like Brian Kelly, he played for a title and he played for a semifinal and he got destroyed in both of them.
Yeah.
Now it is sometimes as simple as just being blessed with great players at the right time. Deshaun Watson was an absolute monster in college. Okay, he went on to be a piece of shit, right? But like he was really good at football in college. And also let's not forget in 2019. If LSU isn't sitting there in 2019, I mean, Clemson's probably. I mean, are they the best team in the country? Bama
Was
finished with
that the
2
last one
losses.
they played for? Was that the last one they
Yeah,
played for?
yeah,
Because
with Lawrence.
I
Yeah,
think that would be my point on Dabo. Was like it's been a while since they played for one, and he's never really had legitimate contender success since the NIL stuff really rolled out. Because like I know they made the playoff last year, but like they weren't a contender. Nobody thought they were going to win a title last year. They felt a lot like the Tulane of this year, like the J. Like it was like they're in, they're not going to win. If they do, it'll be one game and done. Like that would be my thing. Like I still think like their floor is going to be relatively high again because of the conference. I just think the way Dabo built that place is not meant like I don't know if he knows how to build places in the current day and age where it's going to be how much do you spend on the roster, like what kind of NIL packages do you have, like, and that's just not what he wants to do. He's reluctant to it.
yeah. So I mean, I just look back. They went in 2020. They lost in the semifinal to Ohio State,
Okay.
and then in 2021 they played a bowl game. They won. They went 9-3 that year, 10-2 the next year, and then like 8-4 the year after. The
Yeah.
10-2
So
year they lost the 10 bowl. So I mean, they haven't been that far off. And I think it seems worse than it really is.
Yeah, because this year was so bad that it's recency bias. Everybody's looking at what
Yeah,
happened this year and
yeah.
everything
No,
else. And let's face it, we live in a day and age of college football where if you're not going to the playoffs or you're not playing for a national championship, the coach shouldn't belong there, and that's ridiculous.
yeah.
Ridiculous. Somebody, one of the big time Texas tweeters on Twitter came out and said he's in a group chat, and somebody said that Sark Sark's on a hot seat for the way he finished this year, and I'm like, yeah, the name of your group chat is "We Don't Know Ball" because they're a fucking idiot. Like, what are you talking about? But getting into the NIL deals and everything else, let's cover the Heisman winner, and then let's get into the portal, which is a madhouse right now. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner, first Cuban American to win the Heisman Trophy. Look out, dude's I mean, he's got a great story. I don't know if his stats equal up to what some people will believe him to be a Heisman winner, but hey, he won it. How do y'all feel about it?
I mean, my thing is like, yeah, like I think he was the Heisman winner of the group. I'm 100% anti Diego Pavia. I've been that way all the last 2 years. Everyone knows that. But I do think like Fernando Mendoza was more deserving. I mean, you go undefeated, plus you win, your conference, you're in the playoff, all the above, right? The dude's good. I mean, look, we'll see how good this in the playoffs, right? But if you compare it to like the last like 7 quarterbacks to win the Heisman, the stats aren't even really close. I think the closest person had like 3,600 yards to his 2,900, which is a pretty big gap. I mean, it's a 700-yard gap. And it's not like he was a Jaden Daniels where like he was running around, 150 yards a game sometimes. But look, congrats to him. I mean, I just don't. I don't think you can compare it to former winners because I think in college football you're going to see less and less years where people are throwing for 4,000 plus yards in the regular season and conference championship week.
I think I agree with Cole. Like he won the Heisman because it was this year, but like I look at it like this. A lot of people were like frustrated with it. Like there just wasn't a player that really had a crazy year statistically that also paired it with the team success. Like I don't think any quarterbacks really had like a jaw-dropping year. I know a lot of people wanted Jeremiah Love, but like reality is Jeremiah Love had a really good year, but he didn't have like an all-time great year, and realistically probably would have needed one to win it. But I mean, he had his best year of his career, but it still wasn't like historically good. And like ultimately, like if Vandy would have made the playoff, Pavia probably would have won it. But like I understand Mendoza winning it. I actually thought he should have won it. You take Indiana to 12-0, you go beat Ohio State in the conference championship. Like I thought he was deserving of the award. I thought it was really cool for him. It's really cool for Indiana. Like it just is a weird year where like Jacob Rodriguez maybe had an outstanding year, but like is a linebacker ever going to win the award? Probably not.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I thought Jeremiah Love was probably more deserving than anyone in my point of view. But I mean, it is what it is. He still got left out. I don't even think if Notre Dame made the playoff, I still don't think they would have gave it to him. But yes, it is what it is. Let's move on to this portal. And before we get to the portal, I don't know if y'all saw today or not. Trinidad is using the Pavia waiver to try to come back another year.
Yeah, that's
And
that's not really new
go ahead.
stuff. Like he's been trying. That's been the. They knew he was going to attempt to get the waiver. When you go back and look at Trinidad Chambliss' career, he probably is going to get it. It's probably going to be a slam dunk that he gets it. I think he's technically only played 3 full years, so he'll probably get it.
Well, yeah. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I saw that they asked him in an interview, what's he going to do? Is he staying at Ole Miss or is he going somewhere else? And he said, I don't know. I'll have to view what's out there and see where I'm most comfortable and what I'll end up doing. So we'll see how that plays out. If he gets a waiver and if he stays, he goes, or what happens. This portal this year has probably been the most crazy. Like I think this is the craziest we've seen the portal, and I think they're probably going to put some regulations after this year because you're seeing names jump in there left and right. Every day you see 4 or 5 players jumping in there, and from all over college football. The top people we have in there currently, I mean, today you got Lagway that jumped in, you got Dylan Raiola that jumped in, you got Sorsby that's in there, you got Dylan Edwards from Kansas State, you got CJ Baxter. Texas just added another linebacker, and LaFayette entering it as well. Like, you're getting bigger names that didn't have good years at their university, just are looking elsewhere to see where they can end up. I didn't think Raiola would go. I don't know where Raiola ends up. Maybe in Miami or Florida or something like that. Um, I didn't think he was. I didn't see him going in the portal whatsoever. Lagway was one that kind of stood out to me too. I think they said that the report came out that him and the new coaching staff met and they just kind of weren't meshing. So he's entering the portal. I don't know where he ends up. So we'll see how it plays out. It's nuts. It is nuts, and I think it's going to continue to be that way.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think every year we're going to sit here and we're going to say, this is the craziest year of the portal that we've ever seen. And I think it's going to be like that every year. It's going to get more and more until there's more rules and more regulation on it. But yeah, no, I mean, Lagway did kind of surprise me because look, I think Lagway's a turnover machine, but I think if you really build an offense around him, I think he can be decent. He's extremely athletic. He's also very injury prone, though. We learned that this year, right? You know, all offseason I talked about how good I thought he was going to be. Pete kept saying if he stays healthy, we'll see what happens. And sure enough, he was hurt half the year. And when he wasn't hurt, guess what? He was ass. That's just the way it was. You know, I think as far as where do certain people go, you know, I think there's a lot of spots to fill. I mean, Auburn needs a quarterback because Jackson Arnold's gone. I don't know the deal with Ashton Daniels, what he's going to be moving forward for them. You know, LSU's obviously looking for a quarterback. You know, I don't think any of those 2 names end up there. I mean, I'm not going to take Buddha's thunder, but I think they probably have their target in mind already. You know, it'll be interesting. You know, one interesting fact to me is the barn. Auburn has I think now four wide receivers in the portal, 2 of which are, you could say, starters. One's a rotational guy, and Perry Thompson, I think his last name is. Still, everyone's on Cam Coleman watch as far as Auburn goes. I mean, the dude's talented. Everyone's waiting to see what he ends up doing. I think he's going to leave. I don't know where he'll end up going, but I think that's a big one to watch out for. One out of the ones Pete named was Edwards, the Kansas State running back, who's pretty talented. I think it'll be interesting if he makes the jump to the SEC. Maybe a lot of schools in the SEC that usually run the ball well did not run the ball well this year, including all 3 of our schools. So
Absolutely.
I think that'll be one that all 3 of our schools, you know how they give like a top 3 or whatever. I wouldn't be shocked if the top 3 is LSU, Texas, and Bama. To be quite
I
honest
agree.
with you, just because you know everyone needs them. I mean, Bama has a really talented 2 really talented running backs coming back next year, but you know you can get somebody who's got experience. That's always great. But yeah, no. So, I mean, it's a crazy portal season already, and it's gonna get crazier, you know, as the playoffs proceed. So.
Speaking of player watch, I'm not sure if y'all saw. This could just be social media hype. You know how we all know how Twitter is. But Florida running back Jordan Ball has removed all Florida mentions from his social media. but he hasn't entered the portal yet. So that would be a huge name too. I
Yeah,
said when Texas got their running back coach, I wouldn't mind seeing him come on to the 40 acres. He'd be a great answer for second person to Wisner.
And not to cut you off, Boot. I know you're about to talk, but how dramatic are these kids, bro?
love
I
it.
mean, they go and they unfollow stuff on social media. They remove pictures. They remove icons from their name. Like, come on, dog. Just go fill out the paperwork. Say you're transferring and announce it. Get Hayes Fawcett to make you a dope graphic, right? Enter in the
Hey,
portal. Like, this is so silly, man.
if Ball gets in the portal, he's going to be one of the top names people go after. And I don't want to burst your bubble, Pete. He ain't going anywhere to be the second fiddle. That kid, if he leaves, he's getting big time money to be the RB1, and the RB2 is going to be a bum wherever he's at. That guy's going to try to get a bag somewhere. I mean, he's really good. I think a guy we didn't mention was Sam Levitt's in the portal. Like, there's some really big names. Aiden Childs got in the portal from Michigan State. I think there's going to be more quarterbacks enter throughout this. Obviously, LSU's a team that really needs. I actually think LSU signs 3 portal quarterbacks. Now, I don't think they signed 3 of the big names, but I do like LSU basically is probably going to have. Realistically, they're going to have one scholarship quarterback on the roster January 2nd when it comes. So I think they signed 3. There's a little bit of precedence with Lane Kiffin. He did this at Ole Miss. He brought in Spencer Sanders, Jackson Dart, and Walker Howard all in the same year. So there's a little precedence to it. I know Cole mentioned it. I personally, and I don't know that, I think LSU's number 1 target would be Trinidad. Obviously, with the Lane connection, if he gets granted that. I think Trinidad is loyal to Lane Kiffin, not Ole Miss. Like, I think their number 2 option, if he doesn't get granted, is Sam Levitt. I really think Sam Levitt is the guy that they would go after. I think they'll get in the mix on Lagway. I think they'll put feelers out and see like what the price tag would be, what's the interest level. Raiola, I know it got mentioned in our group chat today. Like Raiola might, I don't see Raiola going to LSU. He doesn't really fit the Lane Kiffin style. I don't know what Raiola does. Like he feels like a guy that might take a step back in level of play. Like he might not end up at a historically big name program. He may end up at a school like Kentucky or something, right? Something like that. Like he wasn't very good at Nebraska. He was early injury prone. He didn't grow a ton. Aiden Childs is one I would kind of circle. He's a mobile guy. He had some big games at Michigan State. I know you mentioned Auburn. I think the kid from South Florida, what's his name, Byron Brown. Man, an incredible year at South Florida. You got to think if he gets in the portal, he's going to be the Auburn quarterback next year. Because Golish is a really good offensive mind. He had a ton of success at Tennessee. Obviously, they had a ton of success at South Florida this year. I think they're going to, I mean, they might be another 2 quarterback team in the portal. It's interesting, though, and I agree with Pete. Like, I don't think we're done here. I think we do need regulation, but, like, I would ask you all this. How do you regulate it? What kind of rules could you put in place to stop kids from getting in the portal?
Well, for starters, I'll go first. For starters, I think you should only be able to transfer once. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm just being like a grumpy old man here, but like I think this whole like transferring like one name we didn't mention is TJ Finley, who's in the portal for what, his 6th time now.
Something like that, yeah.
Like this is getting kind of stiff. I think you should be able to transfer once. I think, and I hate to say this because the one thing I hate is to punish kids. I hate to punish players when they don't need to be punished. But I think you should have to have some kind of a sit-out rule. You know, maybe your first one you get to play immediately. Then after that, you have to sit out a year if you transfer. I don't know. Now, I do think if your coach leaves, you know, if a head coach leaves, I think that should change things. I think you should now have an open window or portal that you have, right? Like a freebie essentially. So to me, it would be there has to be some kind of sit out rule if it's just a transfer. It was just that you're pissed because you're not making the money you want to make. That's just my opinion.
I want to touch on the Sam Levitt thing. I think Sam Levitt took a step back this year compared to last year. Now with that, he did lose his star running back that was a shine and a dump off factor for him, but he didn't look as great as he did his first year in the Big 12. So for him to go to a bigger conference, competition is only going to get harder. So we'll see how it plays out. I know he'll have
He
better
was
talent
hurt.
around him as well, but I would never really. What's that?
He was hurt most of the year. Like he's currently not. Like he's not
Okay.
available for the spring. Like he has a foot injury where like even if whoever he signs with in the portal, he's not available for the spring, too. So I mean, and look, he did not look as elite as he did in the playoffs to start the year, but I believe they ended up rolling out with the old Nebraska quarterback for like the back 6 or 7 games of their season is who they played. So like, but he does have a foot injury that right now I want to say he's not available in the spring, which I think plays a factor because I think a lot of teams who want a quarterback are going to look at it and go, do I want a guy that's going to basically learn this mentally and he gets no reps with the guys? None.
Well, look, I can go ahead and tell you LSU's not getting Sam Levitt then. Because I do not think Kiffin wants to roll the dice with a guy who's coming in from a much weaker conference, and he won't have him for the spring. I'll just be honest with you. Now, if he was like a freshman, which I don't know his year, but I know he's not a freshman. If he was a
He's a
freshman,
sophomore.
yeah. So like you're talking like you get him for his junior year, okay. And then if he has a decent year, he's probably going to the draft. If he doesn't, then you're banking on him being really good his senior year. I do not like me personally, I would not like the idea of getting a guy that I don't have for the spring coming into a completely new system, completely new conference, completely new level of football.
Absolutely. Let's get into the playoff game this Friday. It's a rematch. It's the horrible Oklahoma Sooner offense versus Alabama's good defense. And we'll see if OU's defense can step up and get into Ty Simpson's face and stop him. They weren't able to stop him last time. Let's face it. I mean, he threw for 326 yards on him. I think the turnovers were a big issue in that game. 2 fumbles and an interception. Um, both teams didn't rush the ball very well at all. So we'll see if somebody can establish a run game and see how it goes. We'll let you take it away.
Yeah, no, I mean, first thing I want to do is, there's this kind of like false narrative by some people that follow us and hop on TikTok lives of that OU dominated that game. I'll just rattle off a few stats here. 406 yards of offense to 212, 23 first downs to 12. I mean, look, you win the game by 2 points. I don't think you can say that's a game you dominated with those two stats. Time of possession, Bama 34, OU 26. I mean, look, it came down to the turnovers. Hats off to Brent Venables. He had guys in the right spot. The pick six, the DB jams Horton at the line. As soon as he goes to break, jams him. The ball just sails straight to the safety. I mean, that was a good play. Can't take that away from him. Then obviously Ty gets sacked from behind and fumbles later in the game. Ryan Williams fumbles on a punt return. And at the end of the day, you still lost it by 2. You had a chance to win it at the end. And not to mention, you miss a field goal right before half where, was it blocked or not? I mean, I think it went down as a block, so we'll say it was blocked. But everything that could have went wrong. They had a giant punt return in the first quarter to get down to our 30. You played pretty bad when it comes to turnovers, but the rest of the game, we moved the ball at will. We did a lot of what we wanted to on offense, even with the pressure. And look, I know you said nobody ran the ball really good. Bama ran the ball for 110 yards without sacks. I think taking sacks to take rushing yards away, that the running plays happened one way or another. The running backs ran for around 90 yards, and then Ty ran for another 20. Is that great? No, it's not great. But I mean, to have what was our best rushing game of our last 4 SEC games against the best rushing defense in the nation, quote unquote. I mean, I'll take that. I think you're going to see us run the ball a lot Friday. I think we're going to try to get the run game going early. I think it's going to work because I think we're hungry. I think we kind of figured it out later in the year. The rush game, obviously against Georgia, yes, I know we had -3 rushing yards, but a lot of that was game script. I mean, you ran the ball fine on the first 2 drives, but then you're down 14-0 so quick that you have to throw the ball. Bama's going to be healthy. That's one thing I really want to touch on is, Bama had 10 starters out against Georgia in the SEC title game. You get most of them back. One that will not be back is LT Overton. There is a lot of rumors about what's going on with him. It's going down as a medical issue. Look, we'll see if he's able to play. Right now, he's doubtful. He's the only one, I believe, that was expected to come back that's not coming back. Um, obviously there's guys who've been out for the year. We're not going to count those. But Josh Cuevas was at practice today, dressed out, running around a little bit. He's been having a broken foot for a couple weeks. He was on the bike for most of practice, just kind of like moving around, doing stuff. Jam Miller is expected to be back as of right now. He's kind of more touch and go than Cuevas, I think. But nonetheless, just having just those two back is huge. The D-line interior, you had a couple guys that were Kelby Collins was one. Eldridge Simmons was another one who were hurt against Georgia. They're both coming back. Overall, this will be the healthiest that we've been in, I think 6 weeks probably. After that big gauntlet stretch in the middle of the year, like we just beat the shit. One thing that I don't know about, and I don't know if anybody ever will, is Ty Simpson's back. There is so many theories about it. And when you hear these theories and these rumors, on Twitter, on message boards, from insiders, from quote unquote sources, whatever, wherever you hear it, and then you go and you watch these clips with the knowledge that you now have of him having some kind of a back injury, and a lot of it makes sense. A lot of it starts making sense. Like, well, that does look like a throw that he couldn't just really get into like he wanted to. So look, we'll keep an eye on that. I think he's been playing okay, even if he does have a back injury. I don't think it's something they would ever hold him out from. I think Ty Simpson is our quarterback. He will be playing Friday. It'll just be interesting if we can keep him upright and give him time. What can happen? I think Bama wins this one fairly easily. I'm just going to be honest. I think there's a lot of talk about this Bama team this year. You lose week 1 to Florida State, and then you rattle off 8 wins, including some pretty big ones. We all know that. Then you lose to Oklahoma, back against the wall. You have to go to Auburn and win. I don't care how good Auburn was this year. Going to your rival and winning is tough, especially when it's a place like that that's supposed to be so haunted, right? You go there, you get it done. Obviously, you get throttled in the SEC championship. But besides that, every time this team has had their back against the wall, they've come out swinging and they've won the fight. I like our chances against OU a lot. I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball a ton on us. I do think we'll move the ball on them just like we did the first time. If we just minimize the mistakes and the self-inflicted injuries or turnovers, I think we'll be okay.
Got you. Where did you find y'all stats? Because from what I saw, y'all rushed for a total of 89 yards and only lost 9 to a sack from Ty.
The running backs had 89 yards. Ty had, I want to say 15. That's coming straight from Bama on 3, their stat sheet after the game.
Gotcha. All right. I was wondering. I was like, what the hell happened?
No, yeah.
Yeah, because when I
unless if you go look through the play-by-play, you'll see plays where Ty ran it. But when you get sacked a couple times, because he got sacked 3 times, so you get sacked, it takes on ESPN, it just takes the rush yards away as if they never happened.
Which is the stupidest thing ever. It's the stupidest thing in college football. The fact that sack yards take away from rushing yards, it makes every stat so fucking convoluted. Because like you look at like Oklahoma's like, oh, they're the best rush defense in the SEC. It's like, are they that, or are they the best team to get after the quarterback? And they've played a couple teams who are not terrific at running the ball. Because like if you get after the quarterback a ton, like your rush stats are probably going to be all right on defense. Because it takes away from the yards you give up rushing. It's an insane stat. It doesn't make any sense that it hurts your because it's 2 different sides of the ball. Like it's 2 different aspects of the game. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. It never will. If I have a running back run for 120, but I get sacked 15 times and I only rush for 190 yards, but I have a 100-yard rusher, that doesn't make any sense. Like it doesn't.
No, I mean,
it's crazy.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Buddha, but I don't think that was the case against. I think against most teams they did just shut them down. And look, to be clear, even let's take the sack yards away. You ran for 90 against the best rush defense in the nation. I mean, I can still live with that. 90, 110, that's not a huge difference to me. I mean, it's 20-yard difference.
got it. Y'all got anything else y'all want to touch on? I know this is going to be a shorter one. I know we wanted to get all the portal news, the Bama OU preview, which will be a good one. Are we going to be able to go live for that game on Friday, Cole? Before?
No, I'll be in the city. I will be in the city.
Got it. Got you. But y'all got anything else?
I mean, unless y'all
All
want to
right.
talk about the game. I mean, I talked about the game, but y'all can talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I gave some of my points. I'll go ahead and touch on it a little bit more. I just think, I don't know, like you said, with Ty with the back injury, I know me and you talked about it, at length about what it is, what could be possibly holding him back. I think more than anything is y'all got to figure out how to stop the pressure. Because when he gets pressure on him and he can't set his feet, he makes some mistakes. Whenever he's able to set his feet and deliver the ball, he makes big plays. And then you're going to need Ryan Williams to step up. I know he's in a sophomore slump where he's just not put up the numbers. He's not catching the ball. He's having fumbles and he's having his issues. Like I told you earlier on the phone, maybe he needs to get his dinosaur back out and start carrying it in for pre-games or whatever it is. Get some skills in him or something. Uber eats him something, like get him rolling. But I think it's a game, like I said, like I told you on the phone, and I said it Friday on the live too. I think if Bama loses this game, you're going to have everyone, not only the DeBoer naysayers, but you're going to have everyone else saying, well, Bama shouldn't have belonged, this and that. You're going to hear that nonstop if they lose this game. I don't think they lose this game. Like you said, I think they correct a lot of the mistakes they made in the first game. I don't think we see the turnovers that we saw in the first game. And I mean, they controlled the clock the majority of the game. Without those turnovers, it's an easy win for Alabama. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. It is in Norman. I know one of our longtime listeners was trying to build up Norman to being this world beater at home when they lost this year to Ole Miss. So we'll see. We'll see how Norman lives up to the hype going into that game. Booty, you want to touch on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's two teams. Like, I think you've already seen how, we've already watched one game play out where Alabama kind of controlled it, had some mistakes. I think the special teams plays a huge factor here. Can Bama be clean on special teams? I think if they're clean on special teams, they win the game, is ultimately what I think. Like I think they're going to better run the ball at least a little bit. Like, it's not going to be like the Georgia game where it just was literally negative yards. They're going to better move the ball. You got a couple weeks to prepare. I do think DeBoer's a better coach than Venables, so that's obviously something you got to look at is who has the coaching advantage with the time you had to prepare. I think Alabama is clear head and shoulders better than that. I think the shitty thing is, like Pete touched on, the narrative around Alabama if you were to lose. Reality is the narrative will be it's back-to-back 4-loss seasons, like we touched on last week. Whether or not that's fair or not, that's a whole different discussion, but that's what it would be. I think it's a really big game for DeBoer, and I ultimately, to me, it would be crazy that 3 games in a row where Alabama seemingly is clearly the better team would drop a
We
third one in a
lost
row.
everything you said there, brother.
What? Can you hear me?
Completely lost you.
Yeah, we can't hear anything, brother.
What?
That was crazy.
You can't hear anything I'm saying right now.
No, we can't hear anything you're saying, bro. I'll clear it up for you. What Buddha said was, fuck OU. OU sucks. It's 6-14, and OU still sucks. And that's just factors. Bama's going to win this game easy. OU's going to show up, get eliminated, go home, watch Texas win their bowl game next week, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say, just real quick to end it, is Bama went undefeated on the road in SEC play this year. Just gonna say, we'll see if we can keep that going. Anyway, I'll let you close it out.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's all we got for y'all. As always, hey, appreciate all the support. We cracked 100 views on our latest episode. Let's see if we can't do it on this one. It is a shorter one. But hey, credit to you guys. You guys are tuning in. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the comments, the feedback on Twitter as well, Instagram, all of our social medias. Hey, hit us up on them. Talk trash with us. We have fun with it. We enjoy it. And we'll see y'all next time. Till then, hook 'em.
Roll Tide, baby. Get it done.
First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. Y'all better listen up. This sports talking tough. So if you got a cup, go on and raise it up. All I'll raise one with you as we talk about the sports. It's raining stats and rumors, let us give you the report. This is first 12 ounces, first 12 ounces, yeah, first 12 ounces.